There are quite a few. It's just that, like you have to kind of have the feeling of if the person actually understands what you want. Because,
Right.
advices everybody can give you. At the end of the day, if they don't understand your vision, it's kind of useless. It's always
Right.
about aligning those people that they're gonna help you with your visions. So,
Thank you for that. I'll definitely take all of that in for sure.
welcome.
Since, yeah.
15
Good.
people.
Okay.
We are about to start, sir.
Yeah,
We
it's
wait
at
more.
8:05. So I think now's a good time to start to kind of try more or less keep it to an hour. So yeah, Troy, if you're ready to go,
Yes,
it's all yours.
yes. Good. Thank you. Mike. Hi, good evening. Oh, welcome to another mastermind. It's really good to see each and every one of you. By now, you know, I'm Troy Holder, and I have the distinct pleasure of living and working in the beautiful Caribbean. And it's a fantastic opportunity. Um, I'm actually a marketing trainer and consultant with a specialization in branding. And this evening, I want to share with you about the power positioning, especially in light of all that is happening, all that is changing, and there's so much uncertainty going on. But one thing I've always said and I've always known is that nothing stays the same, and things are going to pass. So I want to share to you with you about power positioning. I want to share some branding strategies, very practical strategies. And the one thing I want to say to us this evening here as 10Xers is that while others are putting on the brakes and others are stopping, others are hiding, now is the time for us to really, expand, really grow, and not to be too overly focused on the negativity. So yes, now I'm gonna get right into what I'm gonna do this evening. I will be sharing my screen. I'm gonna share a PowerPoint, and I'll share with you exactly the steps that you can actually take in terms of moving from one area to another. Is everyone hearing me? If you're hearing me clearly, just put in the chat. Just give me a one in the chat. Just type one in the chat so I know that you can hear me. Yes, I'm seeing the ones. Good. Peter's there. Okay, Magda's there. Okay, Phil. Good. Julie. Good. All right. So I'm saying one, 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 one. This is really, really good. So good. So you guys can hear me clearly. Beautiful. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to screen share. Uh, and we should go from there. This here should be seamless. Okay, share. All righty. Good. Okay. All right, good. So, good. Okay, Pete, can you see the screen, the power positioning? If you just see the screen, that's nod your head.
Yes, I
Okay,
am. Yeah,
good.
everything is good.
Beautiful. Good. So tonight is all about power positioning and branding strategies for the 10Xers. I mean, this is why we are here, because we all want to 10X our business. And I know for sure that there are many who are wondering in terms of what is presently happening, how are we going to be able to 10X our business? Well, how are we going to even be able to survive in business? And I wanted to encourage you to remind you that yes, you're gonna be able to survive. So good. All right. So here it is. Here's me, Troy Holder, marketing trainer, marketing coach, based in Barbados. I am a Barbadian, so I am a Caribbean native, born, bred in Caribbean. I work from the Caribbean. I work within Barbados, the Caribbean, and the wider world. So here I am actually with some participants of an intimate marketing session in one of the Caribbean islands, and it was a very fun experience. Okay. So I'm going to be asking you a few questions this evening, and I want you to take note. I trust you have your pen, your paper, and you're going to do your screenshots. Um, and the first thing I want to ask you is, how does your brand impact lives? This is very critical. How does your brand impact lives? Because ultimately, what every client is looking for, every prospect, is they're looking for ways to really enhance their life. That is what they ultimately want. They want to be able to enhance their lives. So you need to be able to identify clearly, how does my brand impact the lives of the people I serve, the lives of the people I'm looking to serve. And even for those who may be looking to develop a new brand, who may be looking at new products, new businesses, um, This is a very critical question you need to be able to ask yourself. Okay. Uh, at this point, let me just remind you, okay, if you're hearing some noise in the background, you're going to be hearing some the Caribbean life, the paradise. And at this time of the year, it's nearly the Easter time. This is kite flying time in Barbados. So believe it or not, there are guys who are flying kites at this time in the middle of the night. And they're still flying kites. One of the very peculiar things about being in the Caribbean. Right? All right, just needed to share that with you. So ultimately, what I've recognized over the years is regardless of the client, regardless of the industry, that there are two things that every client is looking to do. One, they're looking to reduce pain. So you need to be able to identify the pain points of your clients because all of them want to reduce pain. All of us. The products that we purchase, the services that we purchase, they're all about primarily to help us to reduce pain, whether it is the immediate pain or avoiding pain. That is why we buy life insurance. That is why we consume food and we make sure that we don't want to go hungry. That is why we are involved in activities that are going to protect our body. That is why we take supplements. That is why we have our regular visits to the doctor, because ultimately we want to reduce pain. So if you can help your clients to reduce pain, then you become a superhero. I mean, because they are happy to have you in their life, because ultimately that is one of the two major things they want to do. Are you with me? Am I making sense to you? Good. Beautiful. So let's continue onward, because not only do we want to reduce pain, there's another element that causes persons to take actions, and that is increased pleasure. Imagine how your clients would feel if you're able to help them increase their pleasure. And in the B2B market, one of the biggest pleasures that individuals want is that they want to have increased income, because everybody wants more money. Um, so how does your brand reduces pain or increases pleasure? This is critical. If you are able to identify how your products, how your services, how your connections are going to be able to do one or two of those, then you're on your way to a home run. But it gets even better. Pete, if you are able to reduce pain while increasing pleasure, you become wow. Your clients will love you regardless of what is happening around, regardless of what others may be offering to them. You become the go-to person. You become their wow. And we know anytime you can make a client go wow, they're going to repeat that experience. They're going to buy from you again. And this is how you start to develop brand loyalty. There's a lot of persons who would spend a lot of time speaking about having a very nicely designed logo. And in full disclosure, I spent 10 years of my career as a professional graphic designer. And I know the importance of a logo. But more importantly, it's about the emotional and the emotional impact. I mean, how do you make your clients feel? What it is that you're ultimately doing for your clients. This is the essence of branding. And if you get this, if you are able to capture this, then you're going to be on your way to riding out this wave. So even though, and I'm going to say this right now, even though uh, your business may be closed. It's because if you're involved in a business that is a person-to-person business, like someone mentioned earlier, I think it was Lori who mentioned earlier that she was in the hair salon business, the cosmetology business. That is a very direct contact service. And you may be thinking, okay, my business is closed. I'm not able to generate any income. What can I do? This is where you continue to build your relationships, continue to show your customers that you care about them beyond just their hair. And this is where you're able to start to really reposition yourself as the ideal go-to person, as a person who not only provides a good product and provides a good service, but who's generally concerned about your overall well-being. Because this we need to know. People support brands that reflect the lifestyle that they live or the lifestyle that they aspire to. I'll repeat that again. People support brands that reflect the lifestyle they live or the lifestyle that they aspire to. So Hope you've making your notes and you started to go through your mind in terms of what it is that you're doing in terms of reducing the pain and reduce and increasing pleasure. And we both know that there will be varying degrees of pleasure and pain that persons would obviously going to be looking to attain. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into the real meat here, the real power positioning. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you through the steps of the pyramid of income and branding. One of the things I've been able to recognize over the last 25 years involved in marketing and branding is this, that your position on this pyramid has a direct correlation to the income that you are generating. The money that you're able to make is directly related to how your existing customers and prospects have positioned you on this pyramid. So if you have a really good product, you have a really good service, and you are find yourself sometimes struggling, trying to understand why is it that people and companies that don't have products and services as good as mine, yet they're generating a whole lot more income. And that can be really frustrating for many of us. I've been there. I know it can be that so frustrating. The difference is not the product, it's not your service is a problem, it's ultimately how you are positioned in the minds of your prospects and your consumers. Because the way a person think about you will determine how they behave towards you. Now, we all purchase products and services, and what we are prepared to pay have a lot to do with how we feel about the particular brand, how we feel about the provider of the brand. That is why a lot of the major brands still continue to invest hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars in brand awareness, in building their brand, in maintaining brand loyalty. So what I want you to do is I go through this pyramid, I want you to be able to identify where you are at, and then we're going to look in terms of where you want to be. Are you ready? If you're ready, just let me see some twos in the chat here. All right. Lovely, lovely. Good, good. We're doing good. Are you enjoying this information? If you're enjoying this information, just give me a nod of a head. Just nod ahead if you're enjoying this information. Good. Thank you. All right. So let's start at the first position, and this is the position where many normally start at. Boom, the generalists. So in terms of your brand position, most individuals start as the generalist. This is the individual who comes into the industry and they're looking to be everything to everyone. And they often believe this is the way for them to be able to get business. But one of the things you need to always remember is that if you come in as a generalist, the generalist is at the bottom of the pyramid. This is where there's a large number of players in the market. It is highly competitive. And as a result, it becomes very price driven. So if you are operating as a generalist in any market, in any niche, you're going to find that the prices are being driven down more and more. This is where you would have customers and clients coming to you and saying to you that Tom, John, or Jerry can do offer the product or service at a far lower price. This is where the budget shopping is. And you definitely, as an entrepreneur, especially if you're solo and you want to grow your business or you want to 10x, you cannot be a generalist. If we look at what Uncle G normally does, we recognize he doesn't try to serve everyone. There's particular areas. I mean, his real estate, his marketing, his sales. Those are the areas that he focuses on. Now, if you find yourself in whatever industry you may be, let's say, for instance, that you are into, someone mentioned a hair salon. If you find yourself, okay, you're doing natural hair, you're doing braiding, you're doing weaves, you're doing cuts for men, cuts for women, you're doing dyeing, you're doing makeup, you're doing lashes, all of these things you're doing, what will happen is that you're just being too general. And if we look in any field, even in the terms of the medical field, who's the lowest paid practitioner in the medical field? The general practitioner. Because there are generalists, because there are many of them, and we can start to search. So if you come into an industry and you're a generalist, you do not want to stay there very long because you're going to find it frustrating. You're going to find yourself struggling. Now, I am not saying that you cannot start as a generalist, because sometimes a person may enter an industry, they may enter a market, and they may not be sure way to turn, they may not be sure way to serve. So they may be putting their feelers out, doing this basic research to be able to identify what is going to work for them. So if that's your position, that is okay, but you don't want to stay there. And as you look and on this diagram, you see the dollar signs on the side. You realize that they're very small dollar signs, because as a generalist, the pay is going to be very low. So the generalists are always going to be the lowest paid persons in any particular field. So we want to move. Boom. Where do we move to? The first position beyond the generalist is the specialist. Now, if you went to your general practitioner and he said to you, okay, I've done some tests and you definitely need to see a specialist, what's the first thing that comes to our mind? Well, I can tell you, in the Caribbean, the first thing that comes to our mind is that we'd have to pay additional medical expenses because we know that the specialist is going to be charging a whole lot more. We know that the specialist, in most one cases, in many instances, is going to be more than one visit. So I want you to start to look in terms of what area can I specialize in? And this is where we now go from being generalist to start now to target, and even start to micro target. This is where the niche that you're serving, you've come from being broad and you're now going deep. So you're looking to serve fewer people, but with a specialized skills. Here it was this evening, before we started, someone was asking about the course building. And there are many persons who may be able to help you to build a course, but then there are individuals where that may be their specialty. That may be all that they are doing. All that they're doing, because building courses, because they are specialists. When we hear specialists, don't we automatically expect to pay more? I sure do. So the mere fact that you started to position yourself as a specialist, you start now to reduce the challenges and conflicts with price resistance, because people expect to pay more. None of us in here expect to pay Grant Cardone or any of the other major salespersons $100 an hour for a consultation. As a matter of fact, if Grant was offering consultations at $100, most of us probably will not take it because there's an expectation. So what can you do to start to specialize? You may start to identify the services or the products that you are going to focus on, and you're going to start to promote yourself as the specialist in that area. So I want to encourage you right now, if you're a generalist, think about climbing the ladder to being a specialist. Are you enjoying this here? Are you hearing me clearly? If you're hearing me clearly, give me a nod and put some trees in the chat, because I just want to make sure that you are engaged and that you are enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying delivering it to you. Okay, there are the trees. Good. Okay, we have a forest. Beautiful. All right. So you're generalist or you're specialist. We are positioning for 10x. We are positioning to 10x our brand, 10x our income, 10x our life. So some may be satisfied at being a specialist, and that is okay, because every individual needs to know exactly where they want to be positioned and what is going to work for them. But there are others who obviously want more. And for those who want more, here's the next step you need to go to. Boom. Trusted advisor. Are you a trusted advisor? And you may probably be asking, so, okay, Troy, what is a trusted advisor? A trusted advisor is a professional, whether you're providing product or service, that your clients trust your word. They do not make any purchases without first consulting you on that particular area. They accept you are a credible individual, and they know that you have their best interests at heart. That is a powerful position to be in. As a trusted advisor, you pretty much lock yourself in with the client. It is like putting a electric fence around your clients so that when the competition comes, they can't get past the force field, because the relationship that you have developed by providing superior service, by going beyond what your clients are expecting you to do, has positioned you as their trusted advisor. I tell you, I have clients who will not spend one single dime on marketing without first consulting me, regardless of the source, regardless of where the person is coming from, regardless of how attractive the offer may be. Now, as a trusted advisor, the beautiful thing here is that you don't have challenges with getting paid, because the client knows that you are here to offer real value, that you are helping them to reduce pain, you're helping them to increase pleasure, and they know that with you as a part of their team, they don't have to worry about that particular area. Would it be awesome to have clients who love you, who appreciate what you do, who are happy to have you as part of their team, and who are happy to pay you what you invoice them? They don't quarrel, they don't bicker, they don't make noise about prices. They are happy to pay you. This is how you start to really see the growth in your brand. This is how you start to see the growth in your income. While many others are out there running around trying to be the jack of all trades to everyone, you have positioned yourself as that trusted advisor. The client is happy, they are elated, they are wowed, and you are not one of the first expenses, because they do not see you as an expense. They see your product, your service, your relationship as a significant investment for them in terms of achieving their overall goal. That is where it changed. So you may be in advertising, you may be providing basic generalist services. As a generalist, for the client, you're an expense. As a trusted advisor, for the client, you are a worthwhile investment. Am I making sense to you guys? Can you start to see how you can implement this into your own business, the existing ones you have now, and even the ones that you're going to be looking to start? Because I know as this is a new season, a new dispensation in business, the people are going to be doing things differently. And we want to make sure that we are ahead of the curve and not behind. This is an awesome opportunity to really position your brand in such a way that it just catapults you into a place where people respect, love, and are happy to do business with you. Okay. So for many years, I've been a trusted advisor, but I wanted more. Expert. Good. Now, what does it take to be an expert? And one of the things I didn't say to you earlier is that I have the pleasure of lecturing. I'm a lecturer at university. I'm a lecturer at our local community college, both in marketing. And whenever, each time I have a class and I'm asking them about expert, most persons believe that to be an expert, you need a PhD or you need a master's or you need some kind of professional designation. Hello, listen to me clearly. There is you have never ever seen a certificate from any university, from any college, any professional association that says expert, because expert is in here. If you want to be positioned as an expert, you must first acknowledge and recognize yourself as an expert. But what happens to us? Most of us have some self-defeating mentalities and preconceived notions about what an expert is. Now, when you look at the people that you admire, how many of them have a PhD? There are three things, 1, 2, 3 things that all the individuals that we admire as experts have done. And I'm going to share those with you this evening. And I'm going to encourage you to do 1, 2, 3. Are you ready to hear the 3 things that you need to do to become an expert? And it does not include going to university. Now, I'm okay with university. I've gone to university. I have a degree. I have multiple degrees. But beyond that, none of those degrees were able to position me as an expert. Are you ready for the 3 things that you need to do to be considered an expert? Go. Okay, I'm going to give them to you. 1, the first thing that experts do is write. Every person you know as an expert, they're right. So they're all authors. They all have books. Whether the books are successful or not, they've all published. They have books. So one of the things you want to do, you want to write. You want to write your book. You want to write a blog. You want to write newspaper articles. As a matter of fact, I remember about 20 years ago, back in the day when newspapers were still popular, I'm aging myself here. One of the things I did is I submitted articles to a business newspaper. They were unsolicited, but every week I would publish, I would submit an article. And they were not published, but every week I would still send another. And after about 3 months, I got a paper, one of the business papers, and I saw one of my articles. And I was now a published columnist. And I was not paid. I didn't even know at that time that persons were paid to write articles. But what it did for me, it got me attention, because then people started to recognize me as an authority figure, because that is what you want. You want to have authority, you want to have credibility. And when others start to embrace your ideas, when others start to embrace your message, when others start to embrace your concepts, then they start to see you as the go-to person. They start to see you as an expert, and that is how it starts to grow. So writing is a very popular, very critical thing that you must do. Now, you probably have heard that the business card is the consultant, the coach. You've probably heard of the book is every consultant or coach business card. So I want to encourage you to write. So even as you have some downtime now, one of the things that I have decided to do in this downtime is to actually write my book, to actually get it out of my head onto paper. And this is something I have, one of my goals for 2020. And I can look and I can actually see right there the concepts of the book. I have it written out and it's right before me. And I'm going to be using the next 6 months or so to really put this book together. And I know that many of you have been thinking about writing a book. Some have probably even started, but you haven't gone in any further. Now is the time to get writing. So one of the first things you want to do, write. So the second thing you want to do is to speak. Hey, again, a lot of the persons that we see are speakers. So they're speaking online, they're speaking offline, and now more than ever before, with all of this happening, is that there can be more and more speakers online. I remember when I first met Pete, and he was asking in terms of our goals, and I said to him, my major goal was to get on stages, to be able to speak to audiences outside of the Caribbean. So when this opportunity was offered, I jumped on it, because I understand the importance of speaking, because people can then hear your message. They can hear your passion. They can now feel what you are sharing. And this all helps to position how they feel about you. Remember, how a person feel or think about you will determine how they behave towards you. So if I'm giving you information that is useful, it is helpful, I'm giving you information that's going to help you to 10x, then you don't see me as a generalist. You don't see me as a specialist. You start to see me as a trusted advisor or as an expert, because I'm talking about marketing. I'm not talking about sales. I'm not talking about social media. I'm talking primarily about one area. Even in terms of branding, tonight I'm talking primarily to you about positioning. There are many other areas in branding, but because of where I want to laser focus, and this is something that you need to do. So you need to start to speak. You need to get on your Facebook Lives. You need to record your videos. And I know, and I'm very real here, I know a lot of the females have real challenges in terms of video. And I know realistic, because I work with a lot of females, that oftentimes they're judged by their appearance before persons listen to the message. And unfortunately, ladies, too bad, I'm sorry, but oftentimes some of your biggest critics are other females. It's sad. But we need to get past that and start to get our message out. We need to be able to get on live. Look past the way that your face may look. Get past how your voice is going to sound, because I'm telling you, once you start recording, if you've never done it before, if you record a video or audio, the way that you sound to yourself is going to sound really, really strange and really awkward. But I'm here to show you the beautiful thing about that is that the way you sound and the way you look is what people see all the time. So remember, focus on your message. So you want to write, you want to speak, and thirdly, you want to teach. Yes, you want to start teaching. And I want to encourage you, within the next 30 days to start teaching. Regardless of your area of expertise or your knowledge base, start to teach. You can start by sharing 1-minute videos on your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, whatever social media. If you have your website or you have your blog, you can take some of the same blogs that you would have written, and you can actually, just voice it. If you don't want to show your face on video, you can show some still images, but or you can show some moving images. But the thing is that you want to start to teach, because with teachers, it allows persons to experience what knowledge you have and allow you to be able to transfer knowledge. And in terms of knowledge, all of us have a teacher from our life that we hold very dear, that we remember, because people remember the good things that you've done for them. And if you can teach a person something that is going to help to enhance their life, they will remember you, they will appreciate you. And that is the 3 things that every expert needs to do: write, speak, teach. So here's a great opportunity: write, speak, teach. And here's the thing. Now, you may be thinking about, okay, Troy, this sounds really good, but I don't have a lot of knowledge. You don't need a lot of knowledge. You just need some specific knowledge. Remember, I said we're going to micro target. We're not going broad. We're going narrow. We're going to micro target, and we're going to go deep. You may be wondering, okay, where can I start to teach? What should I teach about? Go to your back to your social media. What are the persons in your community worried about right now? What are their concerns? And you can start to teach on those areas. You can start to speak on those areas. You can start to write on those areas. Within the next 21 days, persons are going to become numbed with all the negativity about this existing crisis, and they're going to be looking for a way out. And you can position yourself as an expert, as the person who's showing them the way out, providing helpful information, because people are looking for help. Okay, do you like that? Do you think that you can position yourself as an expert? You can start building your brand as an expert. Writing, speaking, teaching. Writing, speaking, teaching. And that's what I have been doing for the last 5 years. I am now even more focused on going outside of my local market. And that is one of the reasons I'm on this call tonight, because hey, this call gives me an opportunity not only to speak, but also to teach. So, hey, Pete, hey, Tony, thanks a lot for this opportunity, guys. I'm enjoying it. Good. Are you enjoying this content? Wow, I see 2 thumbs up from Pete, so that's good. I'm loving it. I'm glad that you guys are able to enjoy this, because ultimately, I'm about empowering people so that they can do what they have been called to do. Now, you may have been seeing generalist, specialist, trusted advisor, expert. If you look on the side, look at the number signs. Look at the amount of dollar signs there. Hey, a guy would easily pay Uncle G $10,000 for a seat because he's an expert and he's going to bring experts to the stage. So we want to be closer there. And some of us may be thinking, okay, I can't do that. This is for someone else. That is not true. You have what it takes. Increase your knowledge base, increase your credibility, increase your authenticity, increase your authority, and you will be positioned as an expert. Okay, but it doesn't stop there, guys. It doesn't stop there. It goes beyond that in terms of positioning. The next position, the top of the pyramid, is a game changer. And as I listened to Rock last week, I smiled because of something that he said. And if you were really listening, there's something that he said. And this is it. Boom. Celebrity. At the top of the pyramid of brand positioning are the celebrities. And I remember Rock said that he wanted to be a celebrity because he recognized that if he was going to be able to help more people, then more people needed to know about him. The thing with being the celebrity is that the requirements are very different from the others. Now, we all know of people who are celebrities for absolutely no reason than being a celebrity. It has nothing to do with their knowledge. It has nothing to do with their skills, with their product, with their service. It has nothing to do with the experience. The celebrity is all about a mechanism. For those who decided that they want to be a celebrity, I can say this to you, the first thing you need to recognize is that you cannot do it alone. There needs to be a machinery behind you. So all the persons that we know who are celebrities, some we may see, some we may not see, but they all have a well-oiled machine running in the background that is promoting them. I mean, you look at them and this is critical because what is really required is that you need a lot of press. You need to constantly be in the press. You need the media to support you in becoming a celebrity. So you cannot become a celebrity without media. And I'm speaking about in terms of mass media. So you need to get on other people's stages. You need to be able to get on other people's podcasts. You need to get on other people's conferences. You need to be in other people's books. You need to be, on the news. And and you need to have your machine, your people who are constantly looking for opportunities to be able to help to position you as a celebrity. Now, there's a warning that I often give to individuals who like to jump to the position of celebrity, because you can have local celebrities and you're gonna have regional celebrities, you have national celebrities, and then you have international celebrities. Now, all of us in here know of Rihanna. Whether you're a fan of her or not, we all know Rihanna because she's a global icon. And I'm proud to say, okay, she was born in the same island as I. She grew up in the same island, so I'm from the same island as Rihanna. Okay, but while Rihanna was never a local celebrity, I mean, she just shot to stardom. She was never a local celebrity. It wasn't like she became a local celebrity and then grew. She just became a overnight sensation, and because there was a system behind her. If you want to be a celebrity, there must be a system behind you. But I also will warn you is that a lot of your privacy will go away, because what drive the celebrity brand is news. Your fans and your haters equally want to know what's happening with you. So if you decide that even if you decide, okay, I just want to be a local celebrity, or I want to be a celebrity only in my niche, is that you then have to be prepared to share parts of your life with your people. Because one of the things that is required for celebrities is that your fans and your haters, they need to have news about you. They need to be able to talk about you. So as a result, they need to have information. They need to have content. And we often would hear that Uncle G would say, you know what, if you don't have enough haters, then you're not popular enough. Enough people don't know you. And this is something that's very critical. So you need to be able to look past the haters, look past the negativity, because people will talk negative about you. Every celebrity that we know, that I know of, there are persons who are speaking negative about them. And celebrities, in some cases, may even fuel the negativity, and may even fuel the haters and provide them with additional content, because they recognize that what is important as a celebrity is being known. People need to know you. Whether they like you or not, they know you. I mean, who's the most popular leader, the most well-known, leader in the entire world? President Trump. Whether you like him or hate him, we know him. Good. Uncle G. There are as many people who love Uncle G, twice as many probably hate him. Some people just think he's just too much in your face. But that is okay. And we need to be okay with that if you want to be a celebrity. All right, so there you have it. Generalist, specialist, advisor, expert, and celebrity. Now, here's a question for you. Where are you now? Where are you now on that pyramid? Look at it again. By now, you probably made a quick sketch of it or you screenshot it. But where are you right now? And where do you want to be? Those are two questions that every 10Xer on this call and those who will be hearing the replay need to be able to answer. Because if you're not sure where you are, then you're going to have challenges knowing where you want to be. But once you can clearly and honestly with yourself identify where you are and then where you want to be, all that's then required is for you then to take the path. The solution is to start repositioning. Start repositioning your brand so that you can get from where you are to where you want to be. The mere fact that we are all on this call, the mere fact that we are all part of Uncle G's community is a clear indicator that we want more than we have, that we are not contented with what we have achieved. We are grateful, yes, but we want more. We want a 10X. Some people may want a 20X or 100X. But we definitely want more. All of us here, I believe, aspire to being on the floor at GrowthCon, at the next GrowthCon. You all want to be there because we know that being in that area says that we have 10X. You know, that is the key. All right, so here you got it. I just shared with you how you can power position, how you can change your brand. I'm not making any major offer here this evening, like I would normally do on other calls. But if you have questions, we can chat. If you want to email me, there is ideas@troyholder.com. I do have a six-figure branding program that will help you to get from where you are to where you want to be, providing you with the guidance in terms of the marketing and the branding. And I did share with you earlier that I am a trained graphic designer, so I can provide you with those assistance and the other areas of branding. If you're interested in that, you can find out a bit more about the packages at troyholder.com /6-figure packages.html. You're not going to see any sales letter there. You're not going to see any sales video. All that's there are the two packages that are available. But if you want to work with me one-on-one, that is a good place to start. And I'll be happy to do such. All right, so I think at this stage, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to be able to open them and I can also see some of the information was played in the chat. Was that content good for you? If that content was good for you, give me some 10X's in the chat. All right, if that was good. Good. 10X, 10X, 10X. Beautiful. This is what it's about. Supporting and helping others as a community. Wow. Lovely. I'm happy to see these here. Great energy. Thanks. And this is me. This is Troy. This is who you get. This is the Caribbean life. This is the Caribbean flavor. Full of life. This is how we do it in the Caribbean. Oh, wow. Good. I'm happy to see those. So now, okay, if you have some questions, okay, I'm sure there are questions, and I'll give you opportunity to answer your questions. How should we best do this? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So.
Troy.
Yes.
If you want, just you know, if anybody has a question, just to leave the hands that we have available.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, okay, good. Thanks, Pete. Good. So if you got a question,
that way, you know, you unmute the person, so we're not gonna talk in the same time. So it's gonna be more efficient.
Good. That's good. If you got a question, you know, you raise your hand, and I'll unmute you so we can all hear the question and we can all help each other.
I think Mike has a question.
Okay, where's Mike? Okay, Tony. Okay, Tony, can you unmute Mike? Because I'm not seeing.
Yo, what's going on, Troy?
Hey, Mike.
How?
Yes.
Hey, I'm so proud of you, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I learned a lot myself. And you know, sometimes you feel like, man, I know it all. And I had a hard head. I'm stubborn, but that shit was fire. I'm proud of you, man. And I learned a lot tonight.
And thanks a whole lot, man. You set the bar really high, so I know I had to bring my A game, and you know I really appreciate it. I learned a lot from you. I'm learning a lot from being in this group, and I'm just glad to be able to help.
No, I appreciate you, man. I just want to let you know that was awesome.
All right. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Okay.
I got a question for you.
Okay. Go right ahead.
So, like for my company, it's a stock trading education company, right? And then our head trader in our market, in our niche, he's more or less well known. But you know, we want to take it to the next level. So I guess like so for experts, I mean, we have courses available, you know, for like once you're a member, there's different courses that teach you how to trade, that kind of thing. So he teaches. He does YouTube live streams. He does podcasts. Sometimes he'll go, you know, speak somewhere like at a university or different places, you know, whatever have you. So he's good at the speaking. Author, I just took some notes here. I'm going. So I think we're almost there at the expert level. He's not an author. He hasn't really written a book yet. Although I'm gonna definitely bring that up to him because another famous trader in our industry, he actually wrote a book. Supposedly it's a bestseller. I don't know. I haven't, you know, but that's not a bad idea at all. So I'm gonna bring that to him.
Yeah.
So my question is, what are some of the things that he could do, our head trader, that is to get to that next level, to become, I guess, like more like of a celebrity type, you know, like at the very top, at the very pinnacle of the pyramid.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said earlier, as a celebrity, you need to have a system behind you. So you definitely need to get more press. So you need to be positioned. You need to be reaching out to journalists. You need to, especially within the business papers and the Forbes, the Entrepreneur, so that the the editors there know that he's available, that he's a person who is credible, who have information. So that is one of the things you need to do, because what happens is that he now needs to be quoted in recognized publications. That is definitely going to help him in terms of speaking. He needs to be on more prestigious stages that his community recognize. Uh, so like, for instance, I'm here tonight. I mean, this is a stage for me that is a major leap because of the persons who are here. I teach at the local university. I teach at the local college. That is all local. So locally, I am known as an expert. But some of you guys have never heard my name before. Some of you guys, 2 weeks ago, they didn't even know I existed. So this is one of the things that you definitely need to do. Look for stages that his customers and his prospects believe are more prestigious and are of greater value. That is what I would say to him.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Anybody
Okay.
else?
I'm gonna just kind of give some points here, and I would really like to kind of film.
Yes,
Try
yes,
to
Eden.
fill me up.
I see you.
Oh, okay. Let's leave Eden first. She's
Ah,
priority. She's a lady. I have to.
yeah.
Allow me.
Yeah,
Okay,
me
so
neither.
Eden, this is the second time I've come to your rescue.
I know, Troy. Thank you so much. Pete always ignores me. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, awesome. So my question is, like you said, you have to write, speak, and teach, right? So does that have to like tie it up like with your like business? Like for example, you're a marketing expert, right? So you're teaching people how to market and marketing, you're speaking, and you're probably gonna write something about marketing. Does that
Yeah.
like, for example, for my situation, I'm a health insurance agent, right? Do I have to write a book about health insurance? Do I have to write a book about, or do I have to speak about health insurance? Do I have to, what else? Teach about health insurance? How do I, like, people usually, like, for example, for Grant, he's a real estate, like, guru, right? And he writes a book about real estate. So how do we just tie this expert thing and those criteria to be a good expert or a great expert and tie it to our business? Or does that
Okay.
really have to be business wise? That's my question.
Okay. Now, okay, it depends. Okay, it all goes in terms of how do you want to be positioned. That is why it is key. Okay, so how you want to be positioned. So it's ultimately, what do you want your customers, your public, to be thinking about you? That is your starting point. So even before we get to brand positioning, right, it is, what do I want people to be thinking about me? How do you want to be positioned in the minds of your consumer, of your public? Because even though I'm involved in marketing, okay, I speak on the other areas. I speak on entrepreneurship. I speak on personal development, because these are areas that my clients are also very interested in. So the key is to find, how can I tie these areas together? So if I'm in health insurance, okay, health insurance for who? Are you specializing in a particular market? Take, for instance, let's say I was specializing in health insurance for families. Then issues that relates to families will capture your audience attention. Um, Things like, how do I manage my children and my family in this crisis? Okay, how can I mitigate against the issues that will be coming against me? How can I maintain my health? Because if you're a health insurance expert, and persons can remain healthy, then I'm thinking, I'm not a health insurance professional, I'm thinking that the premiums will remain low. So things related to health and that kind of area, you can speak about. So I will talk right and speak about my niche and the things that are important to them that relates to the service that I'm selling. Eden, did
Troy.
you get that?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Any other questions I'm seeing here? Okay, great question, Eden. Okay. All right. We know you now, Troy. Thank you, Magda.
Okay, sorry first of all, Eden, for not seeing you again. Sometimes mistakes are, honest, But
He does
anyhow,
it all the time. No, you do it all the time. Okay, anyways.
but you
All right.
managed to get all the time on top, thanks to Troy, of
I
course.
love you, Peter.
And for those who may
Anyhow,
want to connect with me on IG, you can connect with me on IG. I'm the marketing doc on IG.
can you put a link on the chat so everybody can have it? And
I
then I
just typed them out. Okay, because
yeah.
I'm multitasking here, so I actually just placed it there. That's the marketing doc. I think Eden and a few others, we are already connected on IG.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question that is going to relate to your pyramid. I'm just trying to I know that you mentioned about each of them, like what generally does and what they do, but there's any like specific, I would say, borderlines between each of the field, like from general specialist, advisor, trusted expert, and celebrity, that you consider that that's going to be kind of a guideline that you're approaching the upper side of each level? Because for you to recognize when you start to become better in one of the field and you're going to start to see yourself growing, it should be good signs that you need to move to the next level. So recognizing those things in your own, I would say, business, it will help you to kind of be receptive to the next level that you have to move, and to the changes that you have to make to grow to 10x from the current position.
Yeah, good question, Pete. Before I answer that question, let me just take you back to something I said earlier in terms of identifying where you are and where you want to be. Not everyone is going, desires to be a celebrity. Not everyone desires to be an expert. Some person may just be contented to be a specialist. And it is, I needed to know and understand this here clearly. It is okay. There is nothing wrong if you decide to be a specialist and to stay there. That is perfectly okay, because it is ultimately about what you want. And that's one of the beautiful things about business and entrepreneurship. You determine your goals and then you go after them. Now, if you are in an area as your generalist, one of the key things to do to become a specialist is to start to narrow your focus. That's one of the things you do. You narrow your focus in terms of the market, the products that you're providing. Narrow your focus. You can narrow your focus and you can take your prices up. Okay. And what would happen is that as you're doing such as a specialist, your customers will start to give you the feedback about your product, about your service, about how they feel about you, about how how your product and services is changing their life, how it's increasing the pleasure or reducing the pain. That will then let you start to identify, you would then recognize that for them, you are a trusted advisor because they're purchasing from you over and over. They're saying, you know, hey, Troy, thank you. I actually have a client said to me, Troy, thank you. You literally saved my life. The doctors had given me, you know, 3 years to live. And this was 5 years ago. And she just celebrated her 50th birthday. I mean, and she's healthy and happy. So for her, I am like her, wow. So your clients will give you the feedback, because the thing is with branding that a lot of people don't tell you is that branding ultimately takes place in the minds of your consumers and of your public. Those are the ones who determine where your brand is positioned. We can only influence. So when we speak about building a brand, we're talking about building influence with our consumers, our clients, our prospects. Those are the ones who positions us ultimately, right? As you're going from a trusted advisor to an expert, again, what will normally happen is that you will start getting traction. You will start getting the attention of persons who are not necessarily your customers, but they are in your field. They are interested in what you're offering. They're following you, because if we're honest, there are many experts that we follow, that we consume their content, their free content, but we've never purchased their product because we are not in the position either to afford it or we're not ready to purchase it as yet. But these are the kind of feedback that will let you know that you're going from one area to another. All right, hope that helps, Pete.
Yeah, it does, as always. Phil has
We
also a
we
question.
did have a question from before from tangyfrederick.com.
Okay. Do you
Okay,
want to?
You want me to go, or you want me to?
Yeah, sure. Just go ahead.
Hey
Sorry
everyone,
about that.
Hi.
Phil Mills here. Hey,
Hi,
good to
Phil.
be here with all you. Can you hear me? You want me to
Yeah,
wait?
I'm hearing you, Phil.
Okay, cool. Hey, great to be with all of you. Troy, awesome job.
Thank
One
you.
question I have is, when you look at the pyramid, I think definitely going up the pyramid, celebrity brings the higher number as far as income or revenue.
Naturally.
The question I have, or the thought that I'd like to hear you're thinking about, is can you be in celebrity status but still be growing yourself up to expert level?
Yes, because what will happen is that you may be a celebrity in one area, one niche, one community, one market, one industry, but in another, you may be a specialist, or maybe even be an expert, or maybe a generalist. Now, what will happen is that you're able to leverage, and this is one of the things I would encourage. If you're an expert or a celebrity in one area, I would encourage you to be able to leverage that to go into another area, especially if there is some synergy. Now, we've seen it all. I mean, look again, take for instance, there's Rihanna, who have her scents, who have her clothing, she have her makeup, because she's used her celebrity status and her brand equity from being a performer and entertainer to align it with other industries that are connected with the entertainment industry, because every lady who's going out to an event wants to look good. She wants to make sure her makeup is in place. She wants to make sure her hair is in place, and she wants to dress and look good, and she definitely wants to smell nice. So you can do that. Hope that helps answer your question, Phil.
I think it does.
Okay, good. Okay, all right, Mike, gonna put the kids to bed. Okay, thankfully my wife is putting my boys to bed. All right, are there any other questions?
There was a question before by sorry if I mispronounced tangyfrederick.com. I'll unmute you.
Okay, right. I just saw that.
Hello, thank you very much. I really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you, Tangy.
my question is, let's say, for instance, individuals are asking you questions about two different things. I remember seeing a generalist at the bottom. So let's say individuals are asking you questions about programming, but then you have other individuals asking you questions about developing a software company. So how do you reach the expert level, and how do you figure out what you're an expert in if you have people asking you questions from two different angles?
Good. Okay. So here's the first thing that I will start to look at. I'll do my skills bank, and I would also, in terms of what I'm good at, and if I'm working, if it's just me as a solo entrepreneur, I have a sweet spot. What I'm good at, what my clients need, and what I enjoy doing. So that is my sweet spot. So that is one of the first things that I do. One of the other things that you will want to consider is to create packages, right? You can actually create offers. So the areas where you're like generalist, or person to ask you generalist questions, it is okay to create a product that deals with those areas. And on the other hand, you can create another product that deals with the questions a person are asking you in terms of an expert. Again, we don't have to look too far to see this. Let's look at our Uncle G. So there are 10X events, correct? There's also the boot camps. He also have Cordon University, and then there's the real estate, and then there's the sales. So what he's done is that he's created the various products to satisfy the needs of his clients, those he's looking to serve. You can do the very same thing. So it doesn't mean that if you are a specialist in one area that you have to be a specialist in other areas. Now, the areas where I'm a specialist, and there are other areas where I am a trusted advisor, and then there's one or two areas where I'm an expert. So my clients know, and I have different clients, and I have different products and different offers, and in some cases, I don't even allow them to mix. So you just determine what do you want to do, what client's going to need, what you enjoy doing, and you start to position in those particular areas. Hope that helps you, Tangi. I think I lost you. Okay. You're most welcome. Thanks so much, guys. Very helpful. Okay, gotta go by. Okay, I think that's about it. We had some questions.
Lori, I just to let you know, I send you the information I told you about. I already sent it to her. And going back to Mr. Troy, sir, you were a rock star here. So we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate all your input and everything that you said. I think it was an amazing presentation. And I love it. I love the fact that you specialize in a certain direction that most of us are kind of overlooked to it and not paying attention to it too much. Each of us is focusing on the marketing, but not necessarily on the part of the branding, which is sometimes more important even than the marketing.
You got to focus on that position. All right.
So I think it was good information, and I think we need it, you know. So hopefully, you know, maybe later on, you know, if we'll see how it's going to work out all this thing with this Zoom chat that we're doing, and we'll see how we're going to do for the next couple of chat, and how this thing, everything that's going on right now around the world, that makes us to be more, I would say, locked in the house, which is a good term because, you know, that makes us to think more. However, according to how it's going to go, maybe we can, you know, like bring you back maybe with another part of your expertise that, you know, it's on marketing or different other stuff, to see, you know, how we can
I'll be happy. I'll be happy to do
pick up more, pick more your brain and learn more from you. And I just want to say a few more things about what we're trying to accomplish in the next couple of weeks, and then I'd like Tony to take over with some wrap-ups that we have. And just very briefly, we're trying to do more about what is the current situation, and trying to kind of learn more about how we can kind of I would say create opportunities in this situation. And I think if anybody has like more ideas, we would like to listen to it. So please go to the chat and message us. I will try to by the next week, I will try to touch base with you if anybody owns properties, how and you have tenants inside, because everybody's passing through hard times right now. How what are your options as a landlord to kind of manage to still get some of the money, and what are the options for them as tenants to be able to be listened to and not to feel like they're under pressure. And I will give you also some small tips. I think it was last week. I think I had like a Zoom call that it was they didn't touch too much deep inside of what I was hoping they would touch, which is the current market and across real estate. But I will try to go deeper in that side and trying to see maybe I will have a beautiful talk with Susie. We're supposed to have a thing this weekend, but we miss it. But we're gonna catch up to, either tomorrow or maybe another moment. But maybe we're gonna put something together and we're gonna see how we can make some interesting information. And I think for the next week we're gonna have something that is right now very, I would say, on fire, which is stock markets. And Tony's gonna say more about that one. And well, thank you very much, first of all, for being here. It's awesome to still have people and to start to come with more ideas and to more expertise, because each of us is expert in certain fields where we don't know everything, so we learn every day.
Okay, Tony and Pete, I just want to say thanks, you guys. Thanks to all of you for being here tonight. I really appreciate your audience, really appreciate your engagement and opportunity for me to share. This is my passion, and I just want to say to you, um, tomorrow starts another week. Let's go out and 10x our week. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you. Much love.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much,
much,
Troy.
Troy. That was awesome. That was awesome. So yeah, just to kind of wrap things up, thank you guys so much. I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to us, guys. It's not about me or Peter. We're just the facilitators. We're just bringing everything together. We want to highlight you guys. We want to get some good ideas, provide value, and hopefully, I know I got a lot out of today and that first Zoom call. That was pretty neat. So a lot of things to think about. So, but at the end of the day, this is about all of us. This is a cumulative effort. All right. So if you guys have any good ideas, if you guys want to speak, I still have a list of speakers of people that want to, kind of present and share some things. If anybody else would like to have some good ideas, different top suggestions, or like to speak, whatever it is, you can message me directly or also Peter. And there's a lot of, craziness out there, guys, a lot of static kind of, blocking our goals. So just, and one thing I did want to say, I want to commend all of you guys because honestly, like, yeah, I think we've done a beautiful job of avoiding negativity. I think for the most part, we really are focusing on positivity. And, I think that with everything that's out there, that's definitely the trajectory that we need to remain on until this whole thing resolves itself. So let's double down on the effort, stay positive, and I'll see you guys in the WhatsApp chat. So again, thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. We'll have this uploaded pretty soon, and we'll hopefully see you all next week. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good night.